Honorable Minister. Yes. Please.
Sir, I rise to move, sir, that the bill further to amend the Narcotic, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985 be taken into consideration.
You want to say something about?
If you permit me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, this amendment bill which we are bringing now, and I'm sure Honorable Member Mehtab, while he would rise to have his objections mentioned, I would be keen to put my arguments before on the assumption that he objects on certain grounds. And in this case, I feel the grounds, pardon me for presuming your statement, but there is no ground on which this particular amendment bill can be objected to, because the primary reasons that any party, being in the opposition, even if we were to be there, object to an ordinance is because you don't legislate through ordinances, you need to have proper legislation going through the House. Whereas in this case, that's exactly what we are trying to do. We are trying to bring in a legislation where an ordinance had to come, and the reasons for the ordinance to have to come between the sessions is well explained, and I'm quite willing to state the explanations before the honorable members through you, sir. So the ordinance came in for certain reasons, which I shall explain. And today we are coming in to say that the ordinance be replaced by a bill. And that, I think, is an ideal situation, because we are bringing in a bill so that the House can legislate and take it up for consideration. Now, the ordinance was necessitated because of a court order. And the court order, first of all, the content of the bill, content of the ordinance are all absolutely as was decided by the court and as should have been done even otherwise. It was as a result of a little clerical error, an error in which some of the cross-referencing sections did not get corrected when an amendment was being brought in sometime in 14. Now, therefore, Bombay High Court bench in Goa noticed it and said, yes, there is this anomaly, but that can be sort of understood from the intent of the legislation, and allowed it to remain. Remain meaning they didn't say retain it, but they sort of kept it and said go ahead with the act, because where it should be overlooked, you can. I'm only paraphrasing the words of the court. Subsequently, in Tripura High Court, sir, the same matter came and the court felt, whilst the Mumbai High Court Goa bench understood it, but they didn't agree and said that correction will have to be effected immediately, keeping in line with the intent of the court. It is that correction of that anomaly which Mumbai High Court's bench Goa saw and kept the spirit of the act intact. Similarly here, Tripura noticed it, High Court, but wanted an immediate correction. And because they wanted an immediate correction, the ordinance had to be brought in only to the limited extent of correcting the anomaly. And it is that and nothing more than the ordinance. There is not one more criminality or anything else being brought in the bill which is now coming. It is exactly the same as the ordinance which is getting replaced here. So with this said, I would think Honorable, learned member Bhartrihari ji will agree, and hope he doesn't find a reason to have to get up and voice